Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, depending on what time you're watching this, whether if it's live or later on YouTube. Welcome to our weekly AMA. Um, Quick little rundown. I know most of you already know this, but I like to do this every time, which is if you guys have a question, there's a little hands up icon on your screen if you're on Discord, which allows you to make questions live. If we have live questions, we tend to take priority on those because we don't know if a person can be here during the entire AMA. And when we run out of those, we go to the VC questions channel and we start those. Before we do all that, we normally tend to do a little intro of what's happening and if there's any updates. I'll start this week because now we have the devlogs, and the devlogs are awesome because they give us all the information you guys asked for it. And it's been great seeing those numbers. I would like to point out something that someone this week was pointing out, which is there seems to be less tokens being bet this week, which kind of, at the first glance, seems like, oh, there's less people playing. But it's kind of funny because if you look at the numbers, there's actually more people playing this the past week. I think what happened was because the tokens are worth more, you guys are more careful with how much you bet, aren't you? You're no longer betting like 10, 20 tokens at a time. I was looking at the bets and it was like five, 2 tokens. Yeah, it's no longer pennies. We're at the two digits in the cents now. Last time I checked was 15. I haven't checked in the past hour or so. But it's been really great to see the value going up and seeing you guys excited. Not just with the value of the token, but also with the stuff that we revealed this week. Um, Zeus, Matt, who wants to come next and do a weekly update or weekly intro?
I'm gonna mostly, I think, let you and Zeus run it today, but I'll pop in as necessary. I'm kind of juggling a few things at once, but I wanted to be here and help support the AMA today as well. But my main focus is, delivering what I did last week, which is the website. So I'm actually chatting back and forth with the dev right now on this very subject, and so we're really crushing trying to get that released today if possible. So that's my primary focus. But I'm here to answer questions if necessary. But I'm mostly, I think we're gonna just let you, Hermes and Zeus, run the show today.
We shall try our best, but I think most of the questions will be related to the website. I swear I'm not laughing because of the questions or because of the situation, but I just find it funny that poor Matt was actually trying to work on the website now. But I don't think we're going to let him work on the website in the next 30 minutes much. But me and Zeus will try, right, Zeus? Sorry,
100%. And
Zeus
I can
guy.
give an update.
Gonna...
Yeah, Zeus guy's up next. So inside of the group that forms within Telegram, got a lot of amazing people, a lot of amazing minds. I apologize ahead of time if I butcher your name. Please put how it's supposed to be pronunciated in the chat. But Sayoska, that has to be wrong. I'm sorry. It has been putting together some battle statistics and worked this up in the midst of just being an absolute monster, it sounds like, within his professional life. It sounds like he's a Hermes type of individual, just and Matt as well, just go go go. But in his time that he did have, was able to work up some different aspects of battle statistics. So that's going to be an amazing addition. And we've been working on that in the background as well, right? So how are we going to blend these types of things together? How can we tweak it, perfect it, and just have our stats be as fun, engaging as possible for the inside community and the outside looking in. So that is and will be pretty awesome to have, tweaked and perfected, how it comes out to be. Mr. Hole as well, I mentioned in last AMA, is working up a draft for Meme Kombat Weekly. So within that as well, we talked about how we can have different aspects of, what's going on in the arena, right? Who's the top fighter of the week, who won the most fights, who did the most in our community, even all the different aspects of what this Meme Kombat Weekly could be and mean. I think it'll all come together really nicely. Let's cut Matt and everyone some slack today. As I mentioned last week, as I have iterated in the Telegram chat, there's so many moving pieces in any major project, any major business, and it's really a lot to balance all the different people and things going on, and then also obviously this massive community we have and everyone's hope streams, expectations of what this is and will be, right? But all I can say is that the collective positivity and collective energy and the collective like alignment on direction is so essential to anything in life. And so let's just keep up all that. Let's be, positive, supportive, motivated, fired up in our, personal lives, obviously, but then within this as well. And let's keep making this as big as we can. Yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna go through the Telegram chat and see if there's anything else I'm missing as well within the Knights community. I mean, the Knights little group that we have formed.
So for those that don't know, the Knights is basically a small group of volunteers that have offered themselves to assist with doing some brainstorming and potential new ideas. Okay, well, I know who this is going to be for. So Matt, be ready because as usual, I think we should have now after the intro, it's the mandatory time banded time. So I'm up to stage. There he is.
What's up, guys?
I'm going to reserve a slot for you. I'm going to have a permanent template that says this is the intro and this is when Time Bandit comes in, and then there's the rest of the questions. That's it. That's the timestamps I'm going to start putting on YouTube now.
Well, I miss y'all so much during the week, and when AMA, it's like, oh man.
We also miss you, and it's always
Time Bandit, how's it going, good sir? How was your weekend? And I don't know about the rest of the world. Here in the U.S., Memorial Day, is celebrated. But what about the rest of the world? I mean, I know that's kind of maybe sounding like an ignorant question, but I just don't really know. Hermes, where you're at, is Memorial Day, like, I guess, recognized at all, or like, I'm sorry,
no, it's a Monday. But no, I was busy helping people clean up from the tornado. We really had a bad one here last Wednesday, and we got lucky. My shop was okay, and the house only lost a couple of highlights, but yeah, some of my neighbors, some of my good friends, they are in bad shape, so we've been busy.
In behalf of all the Europeans, I can only say Memorial Day is an American day.
Yeah. But anyway,
I might have just. I'm gonna message Matt and say sorry for that retarded question. I mean that silly question. I had a big weekend myself. I'm sorry for cutting you off, Time Bandit. I was with all my dad's side of the family, huge family reunion out in the middle of nowhere, and my grandma's 90th birthday. So I went hard all weekend. I helped create and celebrate this huge celebration for my grandma who's been kicking butt for 9 decades, 90 years old. And, so I'm just kind of getting back in the mix of all my professional life. I was able to touch in out there, but anyways, go ahead, Time Bandit. Sorry for cutting you off.
But no, congratulations to your grandma. Tell her I said hi, and that's awesome, dude. 90 years? I don't know if I could take 90 years. But no, this is Matt. I'm not going to gripe. I mean, I know you're busy. I know y'all are trying. I can tell by the way the thing is running. It's good. I do have a warning for you, Matt, and to take this seriously. Never, ever, ever ask Hermes to jump out of a cake because you just cannot unsee that.
He liked it. He, at the end of the day, enjoyed it. He says no, but he enjoyed it.
I mean, I still support this, and I think that it should become part of like the intro with the Mortal Kombat music playing. That I think every Tuesday, Hermes should jump out of a cake.
Oh God!
Well, that's it. That's my life for the rest.
But no, guys. Really, I just wanted to say hi. The only question I would have is we're up to nearly 13,000 battles now. That should really, I think, be stressed as to how good the platform is performing. That's a lot. That would be a great marketing tool, I think.
Well, I discovered the trick is on the devlogs, I can't say we didn't have any bugs because every time I say that, the day afterwards, the server breaks somehow. It happened today. It was only half an hour, so most of you didn't notice. but for half an hour the server had like a hiccup of some sort, and we had to restart part of the component. So yeah, the trick is clearly I can't say that there's no bugs. I'm going to change the way I write those devlogs for that part.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I definitely see us being able to, hype up and promote, big event fight, even like every 1,000th fight, right? Every, this or that. And as we're working out and with this team of knights and, getting the battle stats and all these different things all aligned and synced up, I think it'll just become easier and easier, right? So, we're kind of like in a lot of different phases with, just getting everything to the rock solid foundation that we can build and keep building from, right? So like Matt, envisioned this thing, he created this, everyone came here, and then all these different, in this world there's always unpredictables and this and that. Obviously Matt wants this to blow up. He's going to make it, he's going to do everything in his power to like make it happen, right? All of that is coming together right now at a focal point. And I think, as we get all of those things synced up and aligned, being able to create a lot of excitement and celebration around like 100 fight, 1,000 fight is only going to become easier and easier and easier, right? So yeah, I think 13,000 fights, that sounds amazing. Um, so yeah, and then definitely plan on having things like that in the Meme Combat Weekly, and then from there, just how we choose to decide where and when to hype it up and what kind of engagement, new holders, new people, new community that can foster, So yeah.
That's all I got, and I think I speak for most of the community when I say that we would rather have it running good than running early, with problems. So just keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see y'all next week. Y'all have a great one, man. I got to get.
Thanks,
See you
Tim
next week,
Bennett.
Tim Bennett. So just to give a rough idea, the 12,000 battles is, I know this because I was talking with the dev today about the number of battles. It's roughly 10 weeks, a bit more than 10 weeks of continuous game since we started with season 1. So it is a big number, even though it kind of passes us to the side sometimes. We can ignore the numbers, but it is a big number. I do not have anyone to come on stage, so you guys know what that means. It means I get to read the questions, and I'm going to start with the big one. I'm going to start with yours, Chair. I'm not going to. I'm not going to read the version that Bugs made for me. I appreciate it, but it does remove part of the message, and I think Chair would rather if I read his full message. This might be one that's mostly directed at you, Matt, because it does involve the buybacks, and I think that's more your end. Be prepared because it is a very big wall of text. Okay, so can we please get an explanation about the rationale that would trigger the buybacks? People in the chat get excited because Samuel bought 20K knowing that this guy will probably sell at some point. Yet there is a super mega humpback whale, which I love the term there, in form of the MK team that holds 1.6 million to my knowledge, as stated in an AMA a while back. I'm not expecting an answer in form of a date, like at the X at X o'clock. What I'm looking for is something like we will spend half or third or whatever the team's plan is at the upcoming V2 launch, and then another half in fall, for example. So the question is, what is the rationale that's being used right now that triggers the buybacks?
I mean, I would say that the rationale that's being used in this particular situation is that of a supportive tool, not sort of um, an artificial inflation of price or artificial price support, because that plan isn't necessarily sustainable. I mean, so what you alluded to, Hermes, in terms of like tying it towards major milestones or events that not only the current MK audience will find bullish, but as well as is people that are either new or just finding it for the first time, which naturally happens during periods where you have increased marketing, increased visibility, increased volume on the token, it's going to bring new eyes. So using buybacks as a complementary asset to those processes makes the most sense to me. But yeah, I mean, so we've done buybacks previously, and the buybacks that I oversaw personally have been largely already sent to the Ethereum dead wallet, the burn address. So we do have tokens that are there, and the plan is, again, in the long term, to continue that process to create some deflationary tokenomics by burning buyback tokens. Anything that the team does actually buy back will not be sold again to the open market. So, but this isn't the short game, right? This is the long game. In my eyes, the way I see it, we are still very much in early days for Meme Kombat. So I know some other people probably look at that almost completely the opposite. But to me, from a project perspective, we're still very, very early on. So in terms of resourcing, very much pacing, and then also trying to tie towards major milestone events, things like that. And that translates not only just to buybacks, but marketing as well, our overall strategic direction. So hopefully that answers the question.
I think it does. We actually have Che in the audience, so he actually asked now on the live chat and says, "Thanks, Matt. That's exactly what I had hoped." Natural follow-up then, will some of the money spent concurrently with the next market push? Not sure if this made much sense.
Just so,
okay, I understood it. Yeah, so the question is whether if some of the money would be spent at the same time as the market push. Okay, I got it now.
I mean, correct. Yeah. I mean, the idea here is that you're not, and I'm trying to come up with the expression I want to use, probably not appropriate. So, but instead of trying to, toss a glass of water into the ocean, we're wanting to make sure that whatever we do has a measurable impact and is also supportive, not necessarily just trying to, just yeah. Sorry, I'm multitasking, so I'm not usually on my usual A game. But
don't worry, I have problems understanding the question as well.
Yeah. No, but it's essentially my first response. I think still applies here. We're just wanting to make sure that whatever actions that we do take have the highest amount of value in terms of impact on the project.
Yeah, okay. Che actually says, no, I get what you want to get to, and that makes sense. There was a second part to the question that because Che actually had a very complex thing, but due to time, I can't read it all. So I kind of summarized a bit. But there was a second part where there was a question about if the latest purchase that made the big push lately, if it was from our side. I did have that same question, and Matt can prove it because I actually went to him and asked him, "Is this us?" And the answer is no. It's actually someone from outside. So it's not the latest purchases are actually outside of the team, which is good.
Now, with that being said, I do reserve the right to have been not in the know, because we do have a pretty robust team here, and it's very possible that someone internal. I haven't gone through the ranks to make sure, but so it is, I guess, possible, but it's not part of some sort of strategic buyback and burn. But it very well could be somebody either closely connected to the project. Obviously, whoever the buys were from was somebody that truly believes in the forward-looking value of the project.
Okay, cool. So maybe is the answer. Java was no penalty, so maybe. Yeah, see, I discover things with these AMAs. It's not just you guys. Okay, let me just double check if there's no. Oh yeah, I thought I'd seen something popping up. I know why he's wrong about it. He just wants me to say his name. So next up is Alain. And Alain is gonna come on stage. If you come. I'm gonna have like a template, and there's gonna be people that every week show up. One of them is Time Bennett, the other one is Alain.
Yeah. Hey guys, how are you all? Thank you again, Hermes, for saying the name charmingly as possible. That was great as well. Guys, okay, can you guys listen to me? Is that okay?
Loud and clear.
Okay. Matt, friend, I just have one question. You said now that it's possible for the website to come up today, right? Just for us to have, it's not like we are demanding a deadline. It's not like that. It's just to have a certain, I don't know, a bit of certainty. Because if you told that it may come out today, it probably means that, it's like 90% ready. So is this what we're talking about? That's basically the question. So I believe that by making this very question, community can be not happier. This is not the thing, but I believe that community can be more secure. That's the question.
Oh, I was looking for the unmute button, but realized that I'm already unmuted. Yeah, I don't want to like necessarily give out any sort of certainties or make any sort of 100% guarantees. What I can say is that the website is for those that that are familiar with the process. The framing of it is essentially done, and Hermes also, I think, has access to the current state of this too, so he can also speak to this from time to time. It's just there's a few aspects of the website that we've been poking back and forth between design and actually implementing it from an actual website functionality perspective. There's a few things that we've had to go back and forth on just so that the site is actually performant. So that was unexpected, and because of the back and forth and some people not being available over the weekend or coming into the weekend, that kind of stopped us in our tracks a little bit. But we have everybody back on deck, and they're communicating, going back and forth, providing the necessary resources so that people can work. And so that's happening right now. And as far as I can see from my perspective, there's really not a whole lot preventing us from wrapping this up, in short order. So it could be any time. And as soon as I jump off of this AMA, I'm going to go back to having that be my primary focus, because my goal is to get that deliverable done and behind us, so that I can move on to the next items on my list, which are also of high importance.
Okay, guys. I'm satisfied with your response. Thank you. Good night, good morning. I don't know. By the time zone, to you, Hermes, Zeus, and Maddie. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. See you.
See you, Alain. Pleasure to have you here. Can't invite you guys to stage. You start stealing my good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Okay, no one at the moment, so we'll go back to the written questions. We just added the question that was here, which is how the website is going, so I already know about that. Okay, there's a couple of questions here. Okay, so question number one, I think it's more of a bug report, which is the player leaderboard within the arena doesn't seem to be updating at all. Is there any reason behind it? Any idea, no knowledge on this?
Hey, sorry, Hermes, can you read that again one more time?
The player leaderboard within the arena doesn't seem to be updating at all. Is there any reason behind it?
We'll have to follow up and report that one back, unless you have a response for that already, Hermes.
No, I wasn't even aware of it. I shall have a look at it as well and try and figure out what is going on here because.
So we'll pin that, and then we'll report back uh, into
Okay.
the community on that.
Any updates on the burns waiting in that proxy account?
So,
I know
I
you
mean,
love that question. I know.
yeah, it's kind of like definitely a point of frustration for me. What I'm told is that there's no real way in order to um, move them, to affect them to do anything, and that includes selling, transferring, doing anything with them. They seem to be basically just stuck there because of the inability to access that contract. It's definitely still something that I would like to somehow figure out, but at this point, I think the prevailing theory is there's absolutely nothing that can be done. They're just kind of locked there for eternity, which is um, unfortunate and kind of frustrating, and at the same time. But I'm thinking that possibly there's also another creative way to resolve this issue. It's just we've just kind of turned our focus and attention, all eyes on season two, and moving in that direction. So we'll pick that back up and figure out a way to address that at some point in the future. But in terms of like a project oops moment, that could just be the one for Meme Kombat, on a development side. But I'm hoping that we can address that issue at some point and resolve it. We just have to, put our attention back on it. But right now, my focus is season two, and then we'll dust that off at some point and try to resolve it.
Okay, so Matt, this is a question that has a very short answer. You don't need 5 minutes for this one. You can do it. We have faith in you. Previously, you said the staking pool had been calculated to last for 12 months comfortably. Are these 12 months counting from the start of the pre-sale or from another date? Short answer, Matt.
Short answer is the 12 months was from the launch of the actual staking pool itself, not anything else. It's specifically timed to the pool creation.
Okay, so that's basically from the start of the pre-sale. See, there you go. We got a short answer. You guys can hear the birds. Yes, there's birds behind me. It's not my fault. I don't live in the middle of the city. Okay, keep seeing your comments about the birds. Okay, question number 4. Tokenomics on the website clearly states 10% is reserved for DEXs. Not a hint of centralized exchanges, because I'm not going to say the way you guys say it. Is that just a simple mistake, or is MK intentions to stay on DEXs only?
I mean, so we've talked. I think we've talked about this so many times in so many different ways. From a team, from a marketing perspective, there's definitely no opposition to a centralized exchange listing, and I think that as we near season two, and volume starts to pick up, which we've kind of already seen a little bit of that, but I feel like that's just the beginning. But as volume starts to pick up, eyes on project, volume increases, will have, I think, a far more we'll have a stronger position in conversations with decentralized exchanges. Now, with that being said, the real utility behind Meme Kombat, the way that the platform operates and the way it was designed and is intended, is more suited for decentralized exchanges. As you know, once you've put MK into a centralized exchange, it's no longer fungible in our ecosystem, in our actual game environment, which is the utility behind the token itself. So from a utility perspective, centralized exchanges don't make sense, but we understand that there is some actual value perceived by people in the community and elsewhere that simply want to speculate on the token itself and want nothing to do with the game and the ecosystem, which is fine. So we will pursue centralized exchanges as it makes sense, and as we're able to come to I think, what would be a fair deal. But in terms of functionality for the platform, a decentralized exchange makes the most sense. So that's a long, almost non-answer answer.
It was perfect. It actually allowed me to go over to the window and take a picture so I can show them where the bird sounds are coming later on. Question number 5. Will Season 2 look like the work in progress provided by Hermes yesterday? Oh, that's me. Or are you still exploring the WebGL and visuals like this will come as an update later in Q3, Q4? I can answer this one. There you go, Matt. Go and work on the website for the next 2 minutes. The current plan is it seems to be working, so we are actually aiming to release it immediately with the visuals you guys saw yesterday. So what we're doing right now is we're converting everything that's been done already to that. It doesn't seem to be too time consuming, so that's the reason why we're doing it right now instead of having the web GL, and then when we have way too much content, then we have to convert everything. That would be much more time consuming. So instead, we're going to do it right now, and that way, the time that's going to be used up for this conversion now will be much shorter than it would be if we did it like in 1 month time, 2 month times. Okay. Okay, now comes the ones that Matt's not gonna like because they have his name on it. I'll try and find a version that's not so aggressive as the one I just saw. Okay, I'll read the one from the current chat at the moment. Maddie, everyone understood if there's a problem and you need more time with the website, but can you please communicate over Hermes? I'm guessing with Hermes as well as intended there, to communicate with the community. Just a quick update at the weekend whether it makes such an impact over the community. So basically, the general complaint is about, there's a promise, it failed, fine, we'll understand if there's an issue, but if it would be possible to have a better communication channel when these things happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's completely fair. Especially over the weekend, I was mobile. I was moving around, so I wasn't as accessed to to the environment that would make it a little bit easier to keep eyes not only on a community but also in coordination with developers and people on the team. But I think that's fair. And I did send a message, albeit it was very late at the very, very, very end of the weekend and past the weekend for some. So apologies on that. That's on me. I was just kind of very much hyper focused on what I was looking to deliver and less focused on communicating that. So, Hermes, I know that you did poke me a couple of times attempting to stop this particular comment from coming to fruition. You did your best, man, but yeah, I'll definitely work on that. And as soon as we are looking to launch the new site, I'll communicate that to the community or through Hermes. As I'm sure that there's probably going to be some people that are going to have to either clear their cache or do some kind of browser stuff so that they can see the new version. But that might not also be an issue. So we'll see. But I hear you, and thank you for the comment.
There you go. And there's also a live visual if you guys check the chat of what happened during the weekend between me and Matt. Also, this was the last week I worked with you guys. Bye. Just kidding. Poor Matt. He actually has me poking him most days several times. I'm actually surprised he doesn't tell me to go to a certain place. Okay, let's see. No hands raised, and I think we might actually have run out of questions. Let me just double check, see if I'm missing anything. I'll read this message because that's for you. I waited all the weekend for the update of the website, and every time hope to see new website. Thanks, Maddie. Awesome. Not sure if there was a sarcasm there or not. It's kind of hard to to figure out in text form. Zeus, there's a question for you. Hey, Zeus guy, I love you. Any news from Zeus concerning centralized exchange talks? Is there something in reach? Did plans got clearer?
Yeah. So in the chat, I said plans are clear. There has been communication, still working out, some details, right? There's always little, techniques and different strategy with different exchanges and how they run it versus like the options that they provide. And yeah, so more clear and definitely, everything will be locked and loaded, for the right timing, right? As Matt was, talking about a little bit earlier as well. So yeah, and then Dr. Dre Does was in there as well. Go ahead and read the comments on what he was saying about him. Then maybe we'll have to wait until after marriage, but no, we won't. So yeah, more clear. There has been some communication, and yeah, everything will be locked and loaded. So, you know.
No centralized exchange until marriage, by the way, for the ones if you watch it on YouTube, I'm actually scrolling down these messages, so you'll see it. Okay, I think that's it. I do not see. No, there's a question about the website. It says, "What will be included in the launch of the website? Are we able to see some of the animations in the fights?" Not at the beginning, at least not that I'm aware of, unless Matt is hiding something from the things I've seen. Are you hiding more secrets from me, Matt? Tell me everything. Tell us everything. Are we going to be able to see any animations from the fights in there?
I mean, so there will be some. I mean, not to the extent I think that the person that's asking the question is asking. I mean, the website does have some reactiveness, some animation to it, but in terms of like acting out battles immediately at launch, no. But with that being said, the whole purpose behind migrating to a newer website version like this is that it will add the ability to add in some of these concepts like that. So there are sections of the website that were designed with the specific purpose of swapping those out with assets that could be basically essentially like live gameplay clips from season 2. Once we get to that point, it's just this first launch of it. It will have motion, it will have some reactiveness, but it won't have any like live gameplay visuals yet.
So just quickly answering someone that says when the website looks as only as half as the animation sneak, it will be just amazing. The website will not have Web3. Sorry, it won't have Unity to WebGL animations. Okay, we don't want to kill your computers just because you're opening the website. We're already trying to minimize the impact of the game itself. Just the website itself will be as minimum as possible. Especially if you're using like an older phone or something like that. Okay, well, I think that is it. Matt, Zeus guy, any last words before we close off for today? Because today there is no raffles because we don't have any event that's finishing today. Yeah, it's bad enough you guys are giving me over 100 quests to approve and Zilly every day. Any ideas I have?
No,
right, let's make this different.
Just appreciate everyone still showing up and joining us. We'll obviously keep grinding all throughout the week, and stay positive, like Zeus had mentioned earlier. Zeus guy had mentioned there earlier, and we'll just keep reaching for the next milestones. And I'm getting excited for season 2, as I think everybody else is now. We'll look to provide you guys with some additional content leaks and some updates on the visual side of things, which I think is what people are probably most interested in and probably get the most excitement out of. So we'll continue to provide those as they become available, which I think will start to increase over the days and weeks to come as we get closer and closer to the season 2 launch. So thank you, everybody, and I'll jump off.
Thank you very much for your time, Matt. Zeus.
No, Matt.
Guy.
Right. No, Matt just summarized it. Appreciate all you guys. You guys are amazing. Let's keep rocking this and connecting all the dots. So thank you so much. Hope everyone has an amazing day, and let's keep on moving this thing forward. All right. You guys have a good day. Talk soon.
Okay, guys. So So I'm gonna stop now, but I actually have an interesting thing that happened today. I'm not gonna say who did it because they asked me for anonymity, but someone actually donated. So they claimed their points of the raids to get some free MK. And what they did, because if someone goes into the ledger, they're going to see this and they're going to ask about it. They actually donated their MK to Luco because of the fact that he does the summaries of these AMAs. And I thought it was really awesome, the fact that someone actually decided to reward another member of the community for their volunteer work. So thank you very much for that. You know who you are. I'm not going to say your name. And see you guys next week.